Making headlines this hour, the President's office announces Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, will undertake a state visit to the Maldives on the 25th of July. Dr. Abdullah Muttalib, Minister of Construction, Housing and Infrastructure, states that the government plans to expand its nationwide housing program, advancing beyond the initial commitment to 57 islands. And Fisheries Ministry confirms the installation of 22 fish aggregating devices under the current administration, signaling a strategic expansion of marine infrastructure aimed at improving access to productive fishing grounds across the country.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Abdullah Ahil. And now the news in detail. The President's office announces Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, will undertake a state visit to the Maldives on the 25th of July. The President's office says at the invitation of President Dr. Mohammad Muiz, Prime Minister Modi will arrive in the Maldives on the 25th of July before departing the following day on the 26th of July. This is Prime Minister Modi's first visit to the Maldives since assuming his third term. The PO office added during this visit, President Dr. Muiz and Prime Minister Modi will hold high-level discussions on key bilateral and regional issues, followed by the inauguration of several joint projects and the exchange of a number of memoranda of understanding aimed at deepening cooperation across various sectors of mutual interest. Prime Minister Modi's visit carries profound significance as it coincides with the 60th anniversary of the Maldives' independence and the 60th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the Maldives and India. Dr. Abdullah Muttalib, Minister of Construction, Housing and Infrastructure, states that the government plans to expand its nationwide housing program, advancing beyond the initial commitment to 57 islands.
The minister said the initiative reflects an intensified effort to meet housing demands across the country. He made the statement during the recent AHA Forum. Minister Muttalib described the original focus on 57 islands as a deliberate measure to prioritize developments tied to President Dr. Mohammad Muiz's campaign pledges. He said projects announced during the president's public engagements were identified early for implementation, forming the cornerstone of the administration's housing strategy. The minister added contractor response to these priority developments has been active, with proposals submitted for 42 of the designated islands. As evaluation progresses, the government's attention is turning to broader implementation, with Minister Muttalib confirming that construction will begin on the currently announced atoll projects before further housing developments are unveiled. Data released by the ministry outlines a varied distribution of housing units across the designated islands. Fewer than 100 units are planned in 20 islands, while 100 units have been scheduled for 12 islands. 2 islands are expected to receive 150 units each, and 9 islands have been allocated 200 units apiece. In addition, 14 islands have opened bids for the construction of more than 200 housing units. To support this expansion, the government has earmarked $181.56 million for housing expenditures this fiscal year. Of that sum, $116.73 million has been allocated specifically to social housing infrastructure. Minister Muttalib said the funding signals the administration's continued resolve in executing its housing agenda.
The Ministry of Fisheries and Ocean Resources confirms the installment of 22 fish aggregating devices under the current administration, signaling a strategic expansion of marine infrastructure aimed at improving access to productive fishing grounds across the country. Among the installed fish aggregating devices, 12 devices were placed during the previous year and 10 have been installed thus far in 2025, bringing the national total to 101. The ministry said the initiative reflects a continuing commitment to modernizing a sector considered fundamental to both the economy and the well-being of coastal communities. The addition strengthened an existing network divided into two primary categories: 65 Doshi Kandafati units used for pole and line fishing, calibrated for tuna and deep-sea operations, and 36 Vadu Kandafati units designed for sports and reef fishing, which support reef-based and recreational activity. Ministry officials noted that pole and line FADs are engineered for long line and offshore tuna harvesting, particularly skipjack tuna. Sports and reef fishing FADs, in contrast, accommodate the distinct requirements of reef fisheries and leisure angling. Despite increased deployment, authorities noted a logistical bottleneck stemming from the existence of only one installation center in Hulumale, which continues to constrain expansion efforts across the nation's widely dispersed maritime zones. The ministry has initiated plans to address the constraint by establishing two additional installation centers, one in the northern and another in the southern region, with construction of a new facility in Funadu Shaviani Atoll scheduled to commence before the end of the year. The Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Welfare stresses on the need for more research to effectively combat the spread of plant pests and disease in the Maldives. Director General of Animal Welfare, Hamid Ibrahim Fulu, speaking on PSM News Rajami, the program, said the short distance between coconut trees in the Maldives has facilitated the spread of disease and pests. Hamid pointed out that the use of strong chemical pesticides kills off insects, which are useful to fight plant diseases like white bellers. Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Animal Welfare, Ismail Muhammad, said trying to eradicate plant diseases without proper research would not provide a sustainable solution to the problem. He said the government is working together with the Environment and Plant Protection Research Institute of Chinese Academy of Tropical Agricultural Sciences, or CATAS, to find a sustainable solution, adding that a 2-year plan has already been drawn up. He added, however, efforts are being made to increase the participation of private and state-owned companies in a more sustainable manner. Ismail Muhammad said the concept would be introduced in the south as well, adding that its expansion to the whole country within the next 2 years will facilitate sustainable monitoring. The Bank of Maldives opens its 40th branch on the island of Duvafaro in Ra Atoll, marking a notable milestone with the introduction of the country's first fully paperless banking facility.
BML's move reinforces the institution's commitment to expanding financial accessibility and embracing digital innovation across the nation's widely scattered atolls. The branch's formal inauguration was led by the Minister of Construction, Housing and Infrastructure, Dr. Abdullah Muttalib. Present at the event were senior representatives of the bank, including Chairperson Ahmad Ali Habib and Deputy Chief Executive Officer and Chief Operating Officer Sahar Wahid, alongside members of Parliament and island councils. Built on the bank's Islamic Finance First policy, the Duvafaro branch delivers a comprehensive range of services grounded in Sharia-compliant practices. Designed as a fully digital facility, it reflects a strategic shift toward technology-enabled efficiency. Badruddin Hassan, Director of Retail and SME Banking, speaking on the initiative, described the enhanced convenience the branch would offer to customers seeking modern financial solutions. The facility includes round-the-clock access to essential banking operations such as cash withdrawals, deposits, bill settlements, and money transfers. During staffed hours, customers are able to open accounts, apply for loans, and complete card-related transactions. During the ceremony, Minister Muttalib addressed the significance of the development, noting that the provision of key services at the local level remains a central priority of President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's administration. He acknowledged BML's sustained efforts to meet long-standing demands in Duvafaro, a densely populated island whose residents had long awaited a dedicated banking presence. The minister expressed confidence in the branch's potential to improve daily financial engagement across the community. Recognized as the Maldives' principal financial institution, BML continues to expand its nationwide operations. With the addition of the Duvafaro outlet, the bank now manages 40 branches across all 20 atolls. Its broader network comprises 133 self-service banking centers, 188 ATMs, and over 200 cash agents. Alongside its physical presence, BML is advancing its digital infrastructure and cultivating partnerships aimed at serving evolving customer needs. Founded in Male in 1982, BML operates as the national bank with a guiding mission of financial inclusion. Its growth strategy focuses on delivering accessible and contemporary banking services to every inhabited island. Through its expanding footprint and investment in digital capabilities, the bank seeks to offer meaningful support to individuals, small enterprises, and wider communities throughout the country.
Maldives Water and Sewerage Company Limited announces the official launch of its significantly enhanced mobile application, marking a transformative leap in its strategic commitment to delivering superior customer experience through cutting-edge digital solutions.
According to MWSC, this comprehensive upgrade introduces a suite of advanced features and streamlined services, setting a new benchmark for convenience and efficiency in utility management within the Maldives. The event was officiated by Shamhoza Ahmed, MWSC chairperson, and Abdul Mateen Mohammed, managing director, and attended by esteemed members of the MWSC board of directors and the management team. MWSC chairperson Mateen, in his address at the launch, emphasized that this significant milestone embodies MWSC's forward-thinking vision to make service delivery more intelligent, expeditious, and ecologically sustainable. The new application consolidates all functionalities previously offered via the MWSC mobile app and e-portal into a single, intuitive, and highly responsive mobile interface alongside an array of newly integrated customer-centric features. Founded on the 1st of April 1995, MWSC stands as the pioneering institution in the Maldives, setting in motion the provision of safe water and sewerage services. From its inception, the company has remained steadfast in its mission to supply the residents of Male with clean and potable water, all while adopting sustainable practices in wastewater management. Its services cover over 50% of the Maldivian population, securing a pivotal role in enhancing the quality of life and environmental well-being across the nation. In the present day, MWSC has evolved into a versatile engineering and manufacturing entity with visionary insights. It not only offers integrated utility engineering solutions, but also manufactures a diverse range of its own products.
President of the Maldives Broadcasting Commission, Safa Shafiq, urges collaborative efforts to enhance opportunities to showcase local voices on international platforms. Speaking at the second television festival of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, or SCO, in China, Safa insisted that such platforms enable people to connect other cultures and showcase nationalism. Reflecting on the Maldives, Safa pointed out that though Maldives is a small island nation, it is rich in heritage, storytelling, and resilience, adding that its television sector is young, dynamic, and eager to learn. Safa expressed excitement about the growing space for women in media and for young creators in television who are telling stories with fresh eyes. She urged to ensure that these creators are supported with opportunities, funding, and platforms to shine, calling upon participants to strengthen audiovisual collaborations, not just through policy but through action. On the sidelines of the three-day festival, Broadcom and China's National Radio and Television have signed a memorandum of understanding to enhance cooperation in the fields of broadcasting and audiovisual. The festival focused on showcasing the cooperation achievements of SCO countries in television and radio exchanges. An insight into business, the Trump administration says it is taking a series of actions against Mexico over the Mexican government's decisions to rescind some flight slots for U.S. carriers and force U.S. cargo carriers to relocate operations in Mexico City.
U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said in a statement the department could disapprove flight requests from Mexico if the government fails to address U.S. concerns over decisions made in 2022 and 2023. The department is also proposing to withdraw antitrust immunity from the Delta Airlines joint venture with Aeromexico to address competitive issues in the market. Mexico is the most popular international destination among U.S. airline travelers. Delta was not immediately available for comment. The Transportation Department said Mexico has not been in compliance with a bilateral air agreement since 2022 when it abruptly rescinded slots and then forced U.S. all-cargo carriers to relocate operations in 2023. Reuters has sought comment from Mexico's Transport Ministry on the orders.
Updates in the Middle East. A ship carrying activists to Gaza prepares to set sail from Italy's Gallipoli port on July 20th in order to try and break the naval blockade of the Gaza Strip once more. The Freedom Flotilla Coalition, or FFC's Handala, carrying civilian activists, including lawyers, doctors, and journalists, was later seen departing Gallipoli toward Gaza.
The activists, who posted a video of themselves on Telegram before launching the ship, said they were carrying toys for the children of Gaza, and the FFC website said they were also planning to bring life-saving humanitarian aid and a message of solidarity from people around the world.
Feeling good. I mean, with trepidation. We've been working for this for a whole year to get the Handala ready. So we're still fighting. We still are engaged in the bureaucratic warfare. And so we are really anticipating once we leave the harbor that maybe we have won bureaucratic warfare. But for now, we have not, and we are waiting, and we have many stuffed animals for the Gazan people. We're so anxious to get to Gaza to bring them these things for the children, for the children.
During a previous flotilla mission by the Madlin last month, also operated by the pro-Palestinian Freedom Flotilla Coalition, Israeli naval forces boarded and seized the vessel carrying Swedish activist Greta Thunberg.
And I just want you to look at those toys. Who can dare arrest a boat with toys for children? Who can dare arrest a boat with food for children, with baby formula? Because we are talking about that. We are only civilians on a boat to give food and to break an illegal blockade. We are talking about that. We are not dangerous. We are just in the side of humanity.
Israel and Hamas are engaged in indirect talks in Doha aimed at reaching a U.S. proposed 60-day ceasefire and a hostage deal mediated by Egypt and Qatar, though there has been no sign of any imminent breakthrough.
A few Druze residents stood by the fence between Israeli-controlled Golan Heights and Syria on the morning of July 20th, as reports came in from Sueda in Syria that tribal fighters had withdrawn.
Over the past few days, Druze residents has breached the fence and crossed into Syria in solidarity with their kin in Sueda, where clashes broke a week ago between Bedouin and Druze fighters. On July 20th, residents reported calm in Sueda after the Islamist-led government declared that Bedouin fighters had withdrawn from the predominantly Druze city. Damascus earlier sent troops to quell the fighting but were accused of carrying out widespread violations against the Druze and were hit by Israeli strikes before withdrawing under a truce agreed on July 16th. The Syrian presidency had announced a new ceasefire early on July 19th, but it quickly collapsed into renewed fighting, underlining the challenge interim President Ahmad al-Sharaa faces in asserting authority over the fractured nation.
Top stories in sports. Toyota driver Oliver Solberg is on the verge of a maiden World Rally Championship or WRC victory after posting the fastest times on 3 of the July 20th mornings for tests.
The 23-year-old Swede has led since July 18th morning and added a further 4 stage wins only July 19th, increasing his margin from 12.4 seconds over the course of 125 competitive kilometers. This puts him within reach of a historic win that would place him among a select few to triumph on debut with a new team at rallying's top level. Solberg, who is the son of Norwegian 2003 WRC champion Petter Solberg, is making a one-off appearance for Toyota alongside his regular WRC2 campaign. Lining up behind Solberg are 3 world champions led by 2019 title winner Ott Tanak. The local favorite, driving a Hyundai i20N Rally 1, is locked in a fierce duel with teammate Thierry Neuville for the runner-up spot. The pair traded position 6 times throughout the day, with Tanak ending just 4.0 seconds ahead of the Belgian. Tanak's advantage could have been greater, but a costly stall after clipping a chicane bail on the opening stage forced him to shed around 7 seconds. Kalle Rovanperä, 3-time Rally Estonia winner and WRC champion in 2022 and 2023, ended the day in 4th.
Tourists visiting Rome's Colosseum can now explore the ancient monument after sunset, as a new nighttime tour aims to offer a cooler and less crowded experience during the city's peak summer heat.
The initiative, titled A Night at the Colosseum, features a 60-minute guided tour along the monument's first tier, the arena floor, and underground chambers that once housed gladiators and animals. The tour focuses on the history of the Colosseum as a venue for public spectacles during the Roman Empire, including animal hunts and gladiator combat. Visitors are guided through dimly lit corridors and viewing areas, with stops to observe displays of replica gladiator armor and multimedia installations showing aspects of restoration and excavation. The Colosseum, completed in 80 AD, was one of ancient Rome's most important public venues. Today, it remains one of Italy's most visited landmarks, attracting millions of tourists each year. The night tour offers an alternative to daytime visits, which can be crowded and physically demanding in high temperatures. Rome has recently experienced daytime highs above 35 degrees Celsius or 95 degrees Fahrenheit, prompting many tourists to opt for evening activities. The program is part of broader efforts by Italian cultural authorities to expand visitor access beyond standard hours and reduce pressure on heavily visited sites. Similar after-hours initiatives have been introduced at other historical locations to manage foot traffic and improve the visitor experience. Night tours at the Colosseum will continue throughout the summer season.
And that's all the news we have for today. We'll be back with any further updates. Until then, I'm Abdullah Ahil from PSM News.